Hello plant friends, it's Alanya here and welcome to my tiny balcony here in suburban Sydney, Australia, where I'm learning to grow cold, cool and intermediate orchids without the help of equipment such as greenhouses, grow lights, humidifiers. It's just me, my orchids and Mother Nature. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for finding me and pressing play and joining me on this adventure of discovery and information. So last week I spoke about terracotta pots. Got some here, and terracotta pots is something I use by preference. It works in my climate where it's a subtropical climate, so we have cool, wet winters and they don't freeze, but we also have hot, humid summers with the occasional dry spell in there, and the hot can get very, very hot. So I choose to use terracotta. Now, I mentioned in this last video that I did about terracotta and sanitizing and cleaning my pots before I reuse them. And I thought, well, how do I actually do that? And do people know what I mean? And chances are not. So you only really need to wash these out with soap and water, but not. You get this patina, and it's what is this patina that we are cleaning off. Now, there's a bunch of different theories about the whole thing, and it's either mineral buildup from the actual clay itself, or it is from salts from fertilizers, etc., leaching out, or it could even be mold and mildew. So I just decided to treat it for everything before I go ahead and replant. Now, this one is a pot that had a peace lily in it until 2 days ago, and I want to reuse it, but I don't want to reuse it in its current state. So I do need to clean it before I reuse it. Now, patina is the discoloration of the terracotta that develops over time, and it will start to happen when the pot gets wet the very first time. You'll notice staining on it. Got one here. So you'll notice that staining develops. You'll notice that if the pot starts to sit in water, you'll get a little crust of deposit around the bottom of the pot. You can see that it's fairly clear where it's been sitting in the water, and the crust has not been able to form on the outside of the pot. On the inside, you'll see that around the rim there is looks like a mineral deposit. I'll just put this up here. And in this case, the pot also needs to be dusted out. But I don't want to be replanting into a filthy terracotta pot. I don't know what this patina comprises of. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to clean out your pot. So I've just got a regular brush here, a floor brush. So we take anything out and we are going to simply brush out our pot to get rid of any stuck dirt and debris from the bottom of our pot. I'm also going to give it a brush on the outside, though this is not strictly necessary. Okay, once we've done that, we'll set that aside, put the bucket away, and I've got some water here I'm just going to get. Now here I have a bowl of clear water, of just fresh water. I'm using glass, but you can use a bucket, you can use any container that you like to do this. You just have to make sure your pot sits down inside it and is covered completely. This is cold tap water, and I'm just going to submerge my terracotta pot into the water. And I have a bottle of cleaning vinegar. Now this is double strength, so regular vinegar is about 3% acetic acid. This is approximately 6% acetic acid, and this is stronger. It's cleaning vinegar available from the cleaning aisle at the supermarket. Now there's no particular measurement, but I am going to give it a good glug, top and bottom, and my water doesn't quite reach the top of the pot, and I just have some extra water that I'm going to put in here, and I'm going to fill that all the way to the top. So that is now just covered. You can give it a stir up. I don't have a stirring spoon available. I'm just going to give that a bit of a whirl around, and I'm now going to leave that overnight, and I will come back and I will take the pot out of here and I will show you what goes on next. Okay, so it is now through the magic of editing the next day, and my bowl with my terracotta pot has been sitting for a little under 24 hours, and we can see that the water has changed colour overnight as the acid has been working on the terracotta. Now I'm just going to take the pot out of here, and we can see as I take it out that most of that white deposit has disappeared, and that's okay. That's kind of what we wanted to happen. But I also have somewhere here a nail brush, and just using the vinegar water, I'm going to give it a scrub to get the worst of the deposits off. Now, this is not strictly necessary with vinegar, as I mentioned, but it does help to clean up the pot a little bit so that it's a bit nicer to look at. I'm going to just scrub the inside of the pot to get the built up soil out of there. Okay, now that I've finished scrubbing the pot, it's now ready to just wash out or rinse out in warm soapy water or just fresh water. I've never had any problem with just rinsing off the vinegar and letting it sit and air dry for 24 hours before I use it. Now I do have a bucket here, so we'll empty this vinegar water into the bucket. And I also just have a vessel of just a couple of litres of fresh water, and I'm just going to rinse that. And that's it. So the pot's just been rinsed, scrubbed it with a nail brush, and it's now relatively clean and relatively okay for me to just sit and dry overnight before I stack it away and ready for use for the next plant that I decide to put in it. Well, that's all that I do to clean out my terracotta pots. I will clean the pots out before I stack them for any length of time. I don't like putting them away dirty. That just leads to bugs and things taking up resident uncontrolled bacteria. It just makes the pots nasty. So if I clean them and put them away like this, then they are fine for use when I want to use them, and I don't have to mess around next time. I do multiple pots in a go. I just use a bigger container, more water, more vinegar, and I just go through the whole same process and then just leave them out to dry before I stack them and put them away. So for now, that is everything that I wanted to show you about how I clean my terracotta pot. And if you found this video useful, please do hit the like button. And if you would like to see what else I do to look after my orchids and my equipment for my balcony, please do press the subscribe button below. It is entirely free. And until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.